Dr. Ochoa, we live with excellence. How are you today? It's a beautiful day. I welcome to our 10 breakthrough session. And it's every week, every Thursday. And I just hope that I meet my mission to encourage you, to continue to motivate you to make those changes daily with the helpful and motivational and inspirational information I can share with you every week. And Last week we review on putting value on others and appreciating others. This week we are talking about making an impact, starting with building your listening skills. That's right. Many studies and corporations continue to show the effectiveness of how listening to their customers, employees, and corporations show the increase of productivity and in communicate because of communication and listening. They see results, and it is very truth and very effective. And many of the successful people know this, that it is incredible importance of building your listening skills. And why we're gonna do these 10 breakthrough sessions is just give you the value of listening, how to develop those listening skills, and how to use those listening skills to make an impact in your business and in your teams as leaders. So I hope I do that today. But I wanted to share with you one of uh, the Salesforce did company Salesforce did a study, and many of the employees who felt their voice was heard are pretty much 4 to 6 times more likely to feel empowered to perform their work daily. So it is very important to have those opportunities where you hear your team members and as business owners would be employees um, and customers. So it's very important to do that, and as leaders, of course, to do that. And the value of listening starts with the giving the respect to the person, giving to the value, the respect that you're taking to listen to them. The other value of listening also, it builds relationships. So if you want to have a strong relationship with employees, with your customers, and team members, listening is very valuable. So it is worth your time and your daily changes that you can do to uh, listen and to develop those skills in listening so you can build those strong relationships. The other value that listening brings is increases your knowledge. Many times as leaders we have one um, uh, subject or one topic or concept that is becomes more valuable and useful when you actually listen from others in the team, your customers, your employees. It becomes a more valuable understanding and better understanding when you listen. The other value of listening is that generates ideas. As you recall last week, the sharing thinking, right? When you share your ideas with the team, with others, it really generates ideas that will just continue to flow, and you will just not, you have no idea, you just continue to flow and grow with more ideas, which actually brings the team together and stronger, and also creates creativity as well. And so the more ideas you have, the better. The other value is that it also builds loyalty. People are drawn to you when you listen to them. when you actually place the value on listening to them, um, and it because that you actually are given, they're being heard. um, you are letting them to speak to you, to bring their needs. um, they're bring It really draws to you, and it really brings loyalty. And we need that as leaders. We need to create that, uh, uh, those opportunities for just for us to listen, so that we want them to be loyal. Loyalty, it's beginning of a good uh, way to for effectiveness, for to start a new projects, new ways, new ideas. Then you want more participation, more ideas, more opportunities where people will just come to you for information and give you more information. So it's definitely very important to do the listening, where you actually they get more be more loyal to you as a leader and as a business owner too as well. The other value of listening is generating ideas, right? As we said, so it brings makes a stronger team when the uh, more ideas is being shared. And it's very important as a team, um, working teams together is very important to do that. The other one is that listening builds loyalty, right? As we say, loyalty. And the last one is that listening. It's a great way to help others. It really is. When you do that listening, it really you have the ability really to develop those strong relationships, um, gather value information, and increase your understanding of yourself and others. So it's important to do that listening. Now, I'll give you um, some ways you can develop your listening skills. And one of ways that you can do that is, remember, when uh, someone is sharing information to you, your employee or your customer or your team members are sharing information to you, give them eye contact. That is a very important to remember. And if you seem to be involved in, just shuffling papers or doing any activities that you're doing at the moment, because as leaders, we're busy. It's better to put those activities away and just focus on the person that is sharing with you or having conversation with you, and just give them the undivided attention and just listening to them. The other one is to practice the listening skills. Then don't interrupt when they're speaking to you. Um, just have the undivided attention and let them speak, let them express what they're actually trying to share with you. I know that there, you know, many instances where we either don't place the value enough on what the other person has to say. They want to impress others by showing how smart, intuitive they are. They're too excited with the conversation, and they just don't let you finish talking. So if you have the habit of interrupting other people, examine your motives and determine what to change. And just give people the time they need to express themselves, and don't feel like you actually had to do all the talking. So periods of silence is very critical, right? It can give you a chance to reflect on what's being said, so that when you had to respond, you will respond whatever is necessary appropriately. The other listening skill that is important to remember is focus on the understanding. So a lot of the studies that they did they indicated that most of the people can recall only 50% of what they heard after they heard that information, and as time passes by, they only remember 25%. So um, effective listening really requires um, more the hearing of the words transmitted. So find the meaning and understanding in what is being said to you. Okay. The other way you can develop your listening skills is checking your emotions. As you know, we experience people and situations that cause us to react in certain ways, right? So we carry our own, emotional baggages. So be um, aware of those emotional baggages that you carry out with when you're having these um, experiences that you had in the past. You put that aside, put those emotions aside, and let the person just give you that information before you highly become emotionally when you listen to the person. Um, so, besides even your reactions are not due to an event from your past, you should always, always, always let people finish explaining their views, ideas, and convictions before you share yours. That's one way you can do that. The other way you can practice your listening skills is asking questions for clarity. So, good reporters are great listeners. They're actually become effective listeners, and to when they ask for questions. So you will become a reporter when you actually develop those listening skills. Um, just being someone to gently ask follow-up questions just to seek clarification. So you show also how much you care and ask in a non-threatening way. You'll be amazed on how much they'll share with you. Um, and lastly, make listening your priority in your business, in your organization, um, and set up as a goal. You can set that as a goal on a monthly basis to set up that listening opportunities to customers or with your employees or team members, as you know, in your organization. Make that as a priority to make listening, um, and you'll be successful. So I like when I read about Sam Walton, who is a founder of Walmart. One of the richest men of America, right? He believed that listening what people had to say, especially to his employees. So one day he decided to fly, his old private plane to Mount Pleasant, Texas. When he landed, and gave instructions to his co-pilot to meet him about 100 miles down the road. Then he rode into Walmart truck just so that he could just have a chatting time, conversation with the driver. So we should all give the listening kind of priority. So he did place that value on listening to the truck driver. So there's a great example of Sam Walton felt very strongly about that, and he was successful. So his still legacy still continues in the company of Walmart. So I hope this was helpful to you. And remember, set up goals, uh, do reflections, read inspirational messages, and set up goals to be a better listener every week or every monthly. Um, and thank you for joining us for a 10 breakthrough session, and we'll see you next week.